cut my hair specifically for this review. No, not really. Paradise Kiss. In this slice of life story, a high school senior called Yukari lives a kind of boring life where she studies hard, she goes to JUCO every day, and she knows the next step is getting into a good college and getting good grades and working hard for the rest of her life. But that's not really what she wants to do or what she's good at. And then one day she runs into a bunch of students from a prestigious art school who need a model to wear their dress in their final show for their senior thesis, essentially. And she wakes up to the realm of high fashion, and she has to decide whether she's found her passion, this is really what she wants to do, and she's also found her first true romance, or if this is just running away from the responsibilities of her real life. This anime is based on a manga by Josei, who I think is just the queen of Josei manga. And what is Josei? So usually when you're talking about anime or manga for girls, you'll hear the word shoujo, and that's your girly adventure type stories, your romances. But there's also something called Josei, which is also aimed at women, but usually older teens and adult women, and it tends to focus more on real life issues and more complex emotions. So that is the kind of story you're going to get with Paradise Kiss. But of course, I'm talking about the anime, and that really has a different look from the manga. And what I love about this anime is how they got real designers, people who work with real textiles, to come in and make sure all the fashion details are correct. And you've got these backgrounds with beautiful real photos that are integrated with the animation, and you've got real photos of textiles, so you can really see these gorgeous details and understand the beauty of fabrics and the beauty of clothing and feel what the characters are feeling and why they're so passionate about this. The characters themselves also feel a little bit more realistic and less cutesy than you'll see in the usual anime. Even the few parts where they do go chibi, the chibis look a little bit more, I don't know, gritty or awkward and not so adorable as you would see in regular chibis. I would say the characters almost look like fashion drawings themselves, which I guess fits the setting. My one critique about the animation is that sometimes the characters themselves don't move all that much, and sometimes I talked about the gorgeous background details, but sometimes you're listening to someone's conversation, but you're looking at something in the background while they're talking, and it's just kind of, like, it's a little overused. I get why they use it, but it can get a little bit annoying sometimes. I haven't read the entire manga, but I've heard that the plot is condensed a little bit to fit in the 13-episode show. I like a contained story. I like that it has an ending to it and that it focuses on this really tumultuous part of the main character's life where she's kind of deciding what she's going to do with the rest of her adult life. But it is true that some of the most interesting characters don't get a whole lot of screen time, especially Isabella. Like, everyone wants more Isabella because she's awesome. One thing I like about the anime is how condensed the plot is, because a lot of it focuses on 1 week in this character's life, and she's deciding, is she going to go the safe route and do what society and her parents expect, or is she going to forge a new route, and how much does she want to give up to fulfill her dreams? And I think that's really cool. On the other hand, it is a little bit condensed from the manga. The anime mostly focuses on Yukari, the main character, and her romance with this fashion student who comes from a rich family. He's kind of a jerk, and whether or not they can make that romance work. And while that is a good plot, you really love the side characters in this as well, because they're all quirky and they're fun in their own way. And I especially would have liked to see more of Isabella. She's like this really sweet, elegant lady, and it's kind of unusual to see a character who's trans and is trans in the story, not just someone who cross-dresses for laughs or for comedy in anime. But I just really love how this character is so deep and so sincere, and I feel like I would have liked a lot more of her because she's really fun to watch and listen to. I recommend this show for older teens because it does have a little bit of sexuality in it. You can't see anything, but it does convey the idea that the characters are sexually active, so I wouldn't necessarily say that's for younger viewers. I'd say it's for fans of slice of life, for fans of romance, for fans of fashion, and it's a really good story with likable characters that are complex, and you see the evolution of a young girl into a self-confident young woman. Why am I doing this thing with my hand? Tekka, why?